You may have seen this great optimization tool for Windows 10 and Windows 11. Basically, this app allows you to selectively remove apps. It allows you to deload Windows. It allows you to enhance your privacy settings. So we know that Windows throws at you a lot of extra stuff. And with this app, you're going to be able to choose which settings you want and which ones you don't want. Let's say you have an activated Windows 10 or 11, you can also enable certain features that you wouldn't be able to do. But this app is pretty good, and we're going to cover it and we're going to talk about it as we go. So first things first, let's talk about screenshots. Before we begin, let's talk about screenshots. We're going to be optimizing Windows. So sometimes with these apps, we can optimize something and then we create a problem or something fails to happen. This normally doesn't happen, but if you want to enable snapshots, basically it allows you to go back in time to a previous known good state for your computer. So right now we don't have any apps right here, and I start installing a lot of stuff, and one of those apps gives me problems. I can just revert back to a previous state before doing all of that stuff. So if you go to configure system restore, you're going to have to configure here and enable this setting, turn on system protection. This is going to allow you to create screenshots. And basically a screenshot, like I said, is a point in time before you did a whole bunch of settings or system changes. System restore, if you go here, you're going to see that I have a bunch of screenshots. If I want to create one, now that I enable this feature, I can go create and I can do a bare bone August or whatever. You create it, and this is going to create a restore point of your computer in this current state with all your settings and applications in this state. Okay, restore point was created successfully. We go to system restore, and we can see our bare bone August. So we can exit out of this one, and you can also open it from here. So let's do this. Let's go and look for Rytunex. So we type Rytunex on Google, and this is going to appear. Rytunex, writing Nami, GitHub. And I'm going to provide the links in the description as well. And there's a couple of releases, but I'm going to go to the newest release, 1.4.1. And basically I click here and it's going to download a zip file. We go to our downloads folder, and then we see here, we do extract all. We click enter. And then now we're going to have our application decompressed, and we click here. This is an unsigned application, but it is trusted, and a lot of big YouTubers and a lot of people are using it. So if you want to do some research, go ahead. But I know there's no risk with this application. You just click I agree, next, install, and it does the installation of Rytunex. This is how we acquire it. There's also another way we can download it via the command line interface. Okay, and if you wanted to install it via CMD, you check it, try to do a run as administrator, winget install, and then Rytunex. And then if you press that, it's going to start the process of installing it via the command line. So those are the two methods that you can install it, and then you'll be able to see it on your computer. Okay, now when we open Rytunex, run it as administrator. Click yes. Okay, and it's basically going to ask you if you want to do a restore point in case you make some changes and something bad happens. I already have one, so I'm going to do close. And let's go over the I want to make my screen smaller. So let's go over Rytunex. Basically, it's an optimizer for Windows 10 and 11. We have the home screen, the tab, and you can see all the RAM usage, CPU usage, network, and other things, processes and services. So it gives you a good idea on how much stuff you're running on your system. If you go to optimize, you're going to see all the optimization things you can enable. So basically, it has a title and a description, and everyone is going to install or disable or enable whatever they think they're best for their particular use case. So in this one, you can start reading and checking the ones that you are interested in. disable mouse over time, disable background apps. And this is going to allow your system to run better, and it's going to allow you to maybe disable some stuff that you normally don't use, right? So you can start checking them up, disable Windows check. And there's a whole lot of stuff. So just make sure you see them. And then if you don't understand something, go to Google, and Google is going to be excellent in showing you how to do certain things. Sysmain, turn off Sysmain, which preloads may impact if you're using an HDD, it's going to make it run slower. So if you're using an SSD, I guess it doesn't matter for you. Enable gaming mode and other stuff, service host splitting. There's a lot of stuff. If you want to disable Cortana, if you want to disable system restore, which I'm not going to do because I believe in screenshots, store updates, you can set up all the settings that you prefer. And then the other tab is repair. And you normally run these commands on command line interface, but here you can just check them and perform a scan of your system for repairing file integrity on your system, for your disk files, and also you can scan them and also repair them. You can do battery health check for your battery in your laptop, memory diagnostics for RAM, disk optimization, and it says here, this will optimize your storage device if defragging it, if HDD, or retrimming it for SSD. So it has both HDD and SSD, because we know defragging on SSDs is not good. You can open your event viewer from here. You click here and you'll see how it open up. And now let's go check Deepload. So it's getting all our apps, and you can see here it has Clipchamp, it has Snooze, Bing Weather, Microsoft Gaming app. So you're going to be able to come here and start selecting all the stuff that you don't want, and you don't want all the apps that you don't want running, and it's going to make your system run better. And you can see here it gives you a breakdown of the apps that it's removing, and you can start removing them when you click here on uninstall. You can see the legend, the bloat, and it gave us all the applications that it removed. We go to privacy. I know a lot of people enjoy their privacy and they want to disable a lot of features. Like me, for example, I just select all of them because I don't want any telemetry, no tracking, no feature recommending things. So I normally enable, and this way it's going to disable a lot of stuff. And I can live with this because I know how to do most of this stuff. If I need something, I can find it myself, and I don't have to rely on Microsoft to give me stuff that I want, or, hey, you need this. Disable automatic restarting. So a whole bunch of stuff that you can come here and also make, like I said, make sure you come here and start reading through the different titles and descriptions. That way you know if you disable something that you normally use, you're gonna have that specific tool down if you normally use something. So make sure you turn off stuff that you don't need. So in features here on the next tab, we have disable Windows transparency. Look at this, we have enable Windows dark mode. So if I click on, it's gonna enable dark mode, and you can see the taskbar. It just changed to dark, and you can start enabling stuff here. Enable verbose logon. Disable hibernation. There's a whole lot of stuff here. Disable search if you want to disable search. Disable the game bar, depending on what your needs are, right? You can disable sticky keys as well. Disable BBS, Windows 11 exclusive, it says here. Enable classic context menu. So you know the classic context menu is when you click here, and this is the new one, right? So if you go to show more options, it's just going to show you this classic menu, and that's you can enable or disable that as well here. Enable end task, that's pretty good. You turn it on and you can go here, and let's say you want to go to the Rytunex, and you right click, and it allows you to end the task from here instead of going to task manager. So that's a neat feature. That's I think anybody can benefit from that. Enable classic context menu. You can set this up, and many more things. Disable chat, disable edge discover bar. There's a whole lot of stuff here, which is going to make your experience much better. And networking is just going to show you your IPv4, IPv6 addresses. It's simple stuff. You can see your security status. If you have something disabled here, you're going to be able to see it here. your device settings here. You can see all your stuff, processor, operating system, graphics card. You can send reports for your bugs in the system. You can ask for support, and it sends you to GitHub. And in here in settings, you can change language, the theme, if you want dark, light, if you want to export your optimization settings, if you want to check for updates. And you can see, I mean, the amount of stuff. I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff that you can change, and you can start customizing if you don't like particular things in Windows regarding privacy, regarding applications, optimization, features. I mean, you have plenty of things here. I think this is a pretty good program. Yeah, I think there's another one, Wintoy, but this one is nice as well. And I recommend that if you need some of these features enable or disable, and you don't want to go over trying to find individual things throughout Windows, or you don't want to do a command line commands on the command line interface, you can come here and start setting up stuff and disabling stuff that you don't want. And normally when you finish, we make sure all of our settings are still checked, and we can do a quick restart. So let's do that. Let's restart. Okay, and we can see that we kept our taskbar in dark mode. So that setting was kept. And now let's go to Rytune again and run it as administrator. We have to run it as administrator so that it can deploy all of the features and settings that we want. Okay, I'm gonna close this. And remember, if you didn't like some of the settings that you set up, you can revert those changes as well. And look at that, it kept some of the stuff that we set up here on privacy as well. All of that stuff is checked out, but if you go to settings, and you can revert all changes if you go into here. So just throwing that out there, if you want to revert back or you want to go back to your older screenshot, you can do that as well. But Rytunex, I mean, this was a pretty basic and quick explanation of Rytune. We can see that it has a ton of stuff, a ton of features that I'm thinking users needed, and they started putting all of them into here. And with newer updates and newer upgrades that come with the software, there's going to be more and more stuff being added into here. So if you have a system that you want to run slim, you want it to run without a lot of stuff because it doesn't have a lot of resources, Rytunex is going to help you a lot, making that a reality, making the system run a lot smoother because it doesn't need all this extra stuff. And we already know how bloated Windows can get. So if you have this app, let me know how you're enjoying it. If you're having any problems, if you have any questions regarding this program, let me know, and I'll be happy to research and assist you in any way that I can. But right there you go, Rytunex. We saw how to install it and how to enable certain features and settings. It's pretty cool. It was pretty easy to go over it, and it tells you everything in the description if you have any doubts. And like I said, you feel confused about a certain setting, go to Google, look it up, and Google is a great friend when you feel confused about any matter. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope I can bring more content and more applications and stuff to simplify your life so that you can have a better time using your computer. You all take care. Local Tech Man out.